Nikki here with Nikki Does. I am working today with the Solo motor controller, which I have positioned the box exactly right to hide the web address. Thanks to my overhead lights. Solo motor controller. Pretty cool doohickeys. This is the mini. As you can imagine, there's a biggie and a super biggie, and there's a smallie, and I think maybe even an upcoming, I don't know, maybe another super smallie. I mean, why not use the SI prefixes, right? Like I think they have an Uno, but I think that probably came from the Arduino world. So, mini, micro, I think they need the Solo motor femto, the Zeta, Peta, I don't know. So anyway, here's another one too. It's like a little party of Solo motor controller minis. The only thing is, which one of these is not like the other? And that's that one. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo right here, because Mo is a newer version. This is the baby Solo motor controller mini, and these are like the granddaddies. These two are a version older, so that's lower in nerd software world. One digit lower. However, the bummer is this one works for my application and this one does not with the newer firmware. So I thought what I would do is the first thing I thought I would do is make all the jumpers line up so that somebody doesn't say, well, that's because you have the jumpers set differently. That wouldn't have mattered, but I just changed it, and we will reboot it. This is the hard reboot. This is like you gotta pull the power from the laptop brick that I'm using, 20-volt laptop brick. All right, back up, and we are B-linking, so we're good. Now, I'm gonna prove some stuff to you here by showing through the magic of code. The first thing I wanted to prove is which SoloPy, this is all in Python, so SoloPy we're using 4.1.0. I'd say it's the latest because I just installed it. You'll have to trust me on that, but it is 4.1.0. Then this code up here is from the demonstration. I think the file's maybe written up here. No, it's not. So anyway, it's like the read temperature.py on GitHub from Solo. So I just copy pasted it and then I modified it a little bit because I didn't want it to cycle through over and over. So there was a while true loop with a delay in here, which I've gotten rid of. And I changed it around a little bit. I wanted to get the firmware and hardware version, so I got those two. And then I'm printing those in hexadecimal because I needed some hexy numbers to match up with what Solo releases on its website, like in its version notes. So this thing is going to go get a hardware, firmware, and get the temperature. And if there's no error detected, it's going to do nothing. If there's an error, we'll print the error. So there's a little bit of a oops in the Solo Python serial library in that it does not do a great job of opening the serial port, and that makes debugging kind of a pain in the butt. I've considered submitting some updates to that, but I think I'm going to let Solo work on that first, and if they reach out, maybe I'll be happy to share some thoughts on it. But let's just run some code here. So this code that I just showed you, this is currently set up to run on the newer one. Hit run. Oh, come on. Why did that happen the first time? The first time that happened. That wasn't supposed to happen the first time. It was supposed to work nicely. You were supposed to work nicely on the first time. Well, let's plug into the old one. It's going to be the same port, and I'm going to turn off the new one and let it reboot. I did not reboot it before I started this. All right, so let's run it again. Look at that. We got hardware version 2000F002, firmware version 3B00E, and we got a temperature. You can tell these have been on a bit because it's really not 36 degrees C in my lab. Thank God. All right, so we can do this over and over and over. And the important part is here that I'm opening the port and destroying the port every time. If I just ran the loop, it would work just fine because the port stays open. Now I could, of course, put code in to open and close the loop and it would save me from pressing the up arrow like this. But, so I can do this over and over and over repeatedly. Now, let's disconnect from this one and we'll connect up to this one. This is the newer one. Now let's talk to that one. No big deal, right? We can see here we've got a hardware version that's one newer, and we've got firmware that's a couple digits newer. We've got B040 instead of 3B00E. Not sure what their naming scheme is. That worked again. 31, we got a different number for the temperature. No big deal, right? Works great. However, and however was just luck. I did not know that was going to happen. So now we've got a port general error. Port general error. So let's reboot it. And we'll be back to working. No problem. Oh, second time it died this time. Reboot it. First time works. Second time again an error. Now, come on, more than twice. Yes. How many were we going to get? Oh, that's not going to work. All right, and then just to ram the point home, let's go back to the older hardware, older firmware, and we will run that one over and over and over, and it will work just fine. I hope this shows that I have proved that the older firmware worked and the newer one doesn't. I do believe this is a problem. This could be solved in Python because the SoloMotion terminal, which connects, I believe, the same way, works just fine. So I think this is something wrong with the Python library. I mean, it could be fixed in firmware too because the old firmware works, obviously, but it could also be hardened up in the Python library. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully Solo sees this and gets it fixed.